Hey FlossTube, it's Jules. It is June 15th and it's my day off, so it's time for another video. Don't mind me if you see my face look kind of weird today. It's because I just got back from the dentist and I had a filling done up here and I had to get a numbing shot, and that was really uncomfortable. And now basically it's like from back here down is sort of numb, including my nose. It feels like somebody stuck like a big cotton ball up my nose. That's how it feels right now. But it went fine. It was very quick. But if I kind of droop to one side, you know, I'm not having a stroke or anything. I'm just, it's just numb. But I have to do a video anyway because we're getting a new patio put in today. I think I told you guys last video that we're getting a new backyard. They got all the rocks in. It looks really good. And so today they're actually pouring the concrete, and all the guys are here outside right now. So at some point it's going to probably start to get kind of loud. So I thought, let me see if I can sneak a video in before they start up the machines and everything. So we'll see how that goes. So this past week, I told you I was going to the Renaissance Festival, and my husband and I did do that on opening day, and it was a lot of fun. It was a little hot. But when you go on opening day when it's a little hot, there's just not that many people there, at least at the time that we went. And it was a lot of fun with hardly anybody there. We pretty much walked around, saw everything, and did everything we wanted to in like 2 hours. And it was just fun to be there and walk around and see all the characters, and that was a lot of fun. After we did that, then we. If you're in Colorado, the Renaissance Festival, you should know it's in Larkspur. It's off of 25 south of Denver, and there's this really cool pizzeria that is like right around the corner from where the Renaissance Festival is, and we stopped there for lunch, and it was pretty dang good pizza. We really liked it, so that might be our go-to in the future for when we go to the festival. But after that, we went and checked on the bees, and the bees are doing really well. The 4 hives we have down there by Colorado Springs are just kicking butt, and it was a lot of fun just to get in there. I hadn't seen them in about 3 weeks, so my husband had been going down every week to check on them, and so this time I got to do most of the work, kind of feeding them, exchanging their food, and checking on them, making sure that the hive looked like it was thriving, and it was fun. We had a good time. We took some pictures and some video, but I'm not going to put any of that on here, but we just, for our own remembrance, got that done. What else is going on? I told you some interesting fish stories last week. I have a neurotic fish. What was funny was, after I did that video, I was sitting around one night, like a day or two later at the most, and I'm sitting in my little stitchy chair, and my husband's at the computer behind me, and we were sitting there, and I got a message from someone on FlossTube, and they said, "Are you sure that maybe your fish isn't pregnant? And the reason why it's digging out a bunker is because maybe it's looking to lay eggs, and maybe it laid eggs." And I was like, "Oh crap!" And I ran upstairs and took a look, and I didn't see anything. So not really sure if that's what was going on with her. I've had her for a month, so I don't know if she could have been pregnant or not, but she's relaxed a lot more now. I put her in she's in her own little fish tank now, and she has a whole 10-gallon to herself, 10 gallon I think to herself, and so she's now finally kind of adjusted and doing really well, so that makes me happy, and everybody's doing good, so that's awesome. Speaking of doing good, the other thing that's awesome is they just opened a new dog park like 5 minutes away from our house. And that is awesome because we have a lot of dogs, and only a couple of them get to go to the dog park though, because there are just some that are just not very good canine citizens, and they just don't play well with others at times. So the ones that get to go are usually the bigger ones that are just more socially adept and able to deal with big dogs, little dogs, and they don't have a problem. And so I was on my way home from work. I drove past it last night. They were having the dedication ceremony, and so I got up this morning before the dentist, and I took the crazy golden retriever over there and let her run around for a bit to get some energy out. And she's downstairs taking a nap right now. So I think that's going to be awesome because we can actually also walk there. It's probably about a half an hour walk to the park. And then so I can see us doing that. I mean, that's definitely on cooler days. I think that would be a lot of fun. but it's so much closer than the old dog park. The one we used to go to was probably about a 20-minute drive, and it doesn't, I mean, that's not that bad, but when you have two monster dogs in the seat behind you that are constantly trying to like come over and like try to get you to drive faster, you know, that's kind of stressful and annoying, to be perfectly honest with you. So this is awesome that this is this close. Just so awesome. So we're gonna get into the stitchy stuff because I got a lot of stuff done this week. I really, just kind of like last week, I really made sure that I set aside a lot of time to stitch this week, and you know, we didn't have really anything else going on, so I was able to get a lot done. And I was thinking a lot about, you know, where we're going to go with this, what's going to happen next, as far as what I choose to do with the rotation. You know, I've had a number of people comment on the really big old world map too, and I have that. I have worked on it this week, so I'll show you some progress there. But so I had a lot of fun doing that. But that's a project that I can't do every single day because it's just so tedious. I have to feel like I'm making some progress when I stitch that I can see, and I'll show you. I stitched like a whole day. Like probably 5-6 hours on this one piece, and I'll show you. I mean, you can kind of see the progress, but we'll show you in a minute. But anyway, the reason why I say that is just because I'm getting close to, I should be like at 300 subscribers. I mean, I might be there right now, but my husband and I have been making a joke of like at 100 subscribers, I bought a San Francisco piece. At 200 subscribers, I bought a Rainy Day in Boston piece. I think that's what it was called. And then at 300, he's like, buy another one. And I'm like, you know, I can't keep doing this. There's just no way I'm going to finish them all. And it makes me a little anxious when I don't even, you know, when I'm buying more things and I'm not getting anything else done. So I want to talk about my plans at the end, but I was thinking just a lot this week about what I wanted to do, you know, how I wanted to do my rotation and what I wanted to add in. So, but I wanted to show you first the Yoda piece because I got quite a bit done on Yoda this week. So I now officially have there are a total of 4 pages for this pattern, and I've got the first 2 now are officially done. You can see the cutoff straight across, and then I've progressed down here, but I got quite a lot done. I basically, let me see here. I basically got, where's his hand? I got like all this area done, and then a big chunk of this area too. So really focused on this one this week. It's coming together nicely. The more I get done, the better it looks, and I just love it. I just love it. It was funny, I was watching Andrea stitches, and she's in Colorado Springs, and she was doing her whip parade last week. Oh, my lips are numb. She was doing her whip parade, and she held up this piece of fabric, and it had like a stitchy, like this much of a stitch done, and I was like, that looks like Yoda. And she was like, yep, this is Yoda, this is for my husband. And it's just kind of funny when you stitch a pattern, you only need like a tiny little fragment of stitching to like know what it is because you've done it. So that's kind of funny. I got just a smidge done on Apothecary Shop. Again, this one's my Nemesis. I got a little bit more done. I was really wanting to get rocking and rolling on this, and I started doing it, and I just kind of, when I was doing it, I converted right over to the old world map, and I got a big jump on that. And so this one is definitely one that will get a bigger piece in the rotation when Yoda's done, but for now it's sort of just sitting out here waiting for me to fall back in love with it and get to stitching on it. So I also got a chunk done on my Rainy Waterloo Place, which is my sepia tone piece. I got all the way, let me see, it's hard to see, you hold these things up sometimes. I got all the way over here, and this is the end. This is actually the end of this row. So you can see I have some to go, but I've stitched all this week, so I got some good progress done on that, and I'm going to continue to get good progress done. This is something that I'm definitely going to focus on. I would love to get most of this area done this week, so we'll see what strikes my fancy as far as how I stitch. Okay, let me see here. I have I have my notes. Okay, so after I got more comments and some shout outs from the last video, or the video before when I showed the old world map, more people have been saying, I can't wait to see your progress. So finally I was like, I just got to get started on this again. But my problem is that there are like 235 colors. And at most when I'm stitching, like if I'm working on a page or a portion of a page, I might do maybe at most 20 stitches of one color. I might do 1 or 2 stitches of one color. And it's just constantly changing the color up. So I can't do it down here on the main floor without making a huge mess. The dogs are all over me all the time, and the way that I stitch, and I talked about this some in my how to stitch the big pieces. I don't think I really got into it too much because I think I've actually changed a little bit in how I do my really big patterns. But what I'll do is when I'm working on a page and I'm working on a specific section of that page, I'll take a look at the colors that I need, and I'll get out like a handful of colors that I know I'm going to need, and I actually put them to the side on my armchair. And so then I'll go one at a time through those, stitch those colors up, highlight everything to show where I've been, put those colors in actually like a little bin so that I have a little plastic container so that I've got those out of the way, and then I'll pull out my boxes and start over. There's just so much to do on it, and it's just a little bit at a time. But I almost wish that I had gotten the lesser colors. There was in Golden Kite is the website where I got the pattern, and there are different variations of this pattern. There's a smaller, I think there's like it's not a mini, but it's a much smaller pattern. There was I think there might have been, and that one might have been one with a lot less colors, maybe like 85 colors or something. And I just didn't want to do that. I wanted to, when I finished this piece was when I bought the old world map. And my husband really encouraged me to just go big or go home. It's just like, this will be the biggest thing you'll ever do. Go for it, go get it. And so I went and did the mega pattern that time. And the mega pattern is the same size that I have and the same number of colors that I have, but they were blended threads. And the blended threads just about killed me because at the time I had one of those little stitching organizers, needle organizers, and I tried to do like, okay, so I'm going to do this color and this color on this needle, and I'm going to put that here, and I'm going to put this color and this color on this needle and put that there. There was way too much prep time involved, and I just didn't have, if that was the only thing I was doing and I didn't work and I could work on it hours a day, I could potentially do that. But, I did about maybe a quarter of page 1, and I was just like, forget it. I'll never finish this if I do blended colors. So I actually rebought the pattern basically for just the solid colors. And I'm so glad I did that because it's made a huge difference. I started making progress right away. Some of you may remember from my earlier videos that my goal initially was to do a page a month. And that's definitely doable as long as I'm doing some every week. But I've fallen off of that. I didn't stitch very much on it in May, and now I'm kind of getting back into it. But enough of the chit chat. Let's see what it looks like. Here we go. My husband has this 50s and 60s radio station, and it's funny because I love it. If you guys grew up with see, I'm in my 40s, so my parents were big into 50s and 60s music, so I grew up listening to that all the time, and there's not very many songs that I don't know. So when we're in the car together and that station comes on, like I'm usually bopping along and singing with all the tunes, and my husband's just like, how do you know all these songs? I just grew up with them. I don't know hardly any music from like the 90s. The time out for a second. We had a little party on Memorial Day. I went over to see some of his friends, and they had on like their iPod or something hooked up to the speakers, and so we started doing an 80s musical trivia kind of thing. So we'd play the song and then see who could say, could you get the name of the song, could you get the artist? And I'm sitting there and I'm just throwing out, and I'm getting like about every other song before anybody else. I just, even the one hit wonders, and I'm a child of the 80s. I just knew all that. But then they went to the 90s, and I didn't know anything. It's like I didn't know a thing. And so that's when I went to college. I stopped listening to music for a long time, and my musical knowledge just ever since like 1990 has just gone out the window, with the exception of the Dave Matthews Band, which is my favorite of all time. I'm gonna drop this big bag that this thing is in. Oh, who cares if I drop the big bag? All right, so let me show you. So we got a little further along, and let me zip in here for you. I can see through the pattern. So you can see, I'd only gotten down to, where is my finger? Only gotten down to about here. So all of this is fresh stitching, and so that's my goal for today, is actually see. Oh, excuse me. Try to see if I can finish this page today. I got my stitchy chair all set up upstairs. The guys are going to be working on the concrete. I'm going to go upstairs, shut myself off, and just do that today. Got the day off, nobody's here, get that done. But anyway, so now I still haven't fixed this Europe. It's supposed to say Europa, U-R-O. So I need to get that a little darker, and then the P a smidge a little darker, and then the A needs to be filled in. So with something different. The problem with sometimes doing, when I do a page at a time, the gridding system helps a ton. As you can see that it's, it's gridded in there, and that really has helped me a lot to make less mistakes. Now, when I was doing the Europa part, I wasn't on the gridding system. I don't think I was at that time. So, can I tell? You know what, I might have been on the gridding system because it looks like the marker's there. But I just didn't, sometimes I don't highlight with every color. I get lax with that, and that's a mistake, because then I'm not really sure if I've got like 3 stitches up here. I'm like, well, what colors are those? I can't quite tell, because maybe I've made a mistake with my highlighting the symbols. But so anyway, so I'm trying to be a little bit more diligent about that and be a little better at that, because details obviously do matter, especially when you're looking at lettering. So anyway, I'm excited. I hope to start another page. I brought down my book. Pattern. This is literally all the pages for, I can't show you this, but it's I can show you like the thickness, but all the pattern pages, which is like, how many pages is it? It's over 200 pages. It's over 200 pages, it's over 200 colors. It's kind of ridiculous, but anyway, so what page am I on? 7. I'm on page 7 because I have page 8 right here. So, and page 8 looks like a lot of fun. I wanted to ask you guys a question. When I was looking at what to do with, when I was looking at another pattern or looking at potentially another project, I looked up Haid patterns, and I've never done a Haid pattern. Heaven and Earth Designs, if you're not familiar, and they're quite large, and a lot of people love them. I was wondering when I was looking at it, because some of them are quite beautiful, but are there a lot of colors with a lot of them? Is it one of those things where, because like I said, with this pattern, there's so many color changes all the time, it's what slows me down. But with Haids, are you looking at like 100 colors or less, 150 colors? I guess you can really sort of choose. But I was just wondering if that might be, because all the patterns are huge, right? So I just wondered if that is actually like an easier something to do. Not that I need another gigantic project, but I was just curious about that because I've never done one. So where are we at? I want to make sure what we did here. So what to do this week? Old World Map 2, finish that page. Chug along on Yoda, get more done on him, and get back onto Rainy Waterloo Place. Try to finish out all the way to the end of the road, start the next section, start on the next row of sheets. That would be awesome. That would be super awesome. And I have also decided, when I talked about what I'm going to do next when I finish Yoda, what I'm going to add into the rotation, I'm going to add in the football piece, which is the classic Saturday Evening Post football, which I don't have a good picture of. I wish I did, but I don't. And but it's vintage looking. It's awesome. If some of you remember on an earlier video, I talked about how I had started it on 18 count Ada, and that's like one of the first. I love the pattern, but I don't love the stitching. I don't know why, but I just don't love the stitching on that. So because I seem to have fallen in love with 14 count Ada because of just it's softer, it's easier to work with for me. I don't, since I'm doing full coverage pieces, I don't need to have specialty cloth or specialty fabric. So I'm just doing, am I drooling? I hope I'm not drooling during the video because I can't, it's starting to come back a little bit, but it's still a bit numb. But anyway, because I do full coverage pieces, I don't need specialty fabric. So I just go and get whatever Ada that I feel comfortable stitching on. So even though I had I was well into like the second page of the football piece, I decided to start over because I just wasn't happy with how it was stitching. It didn't feel good at all. So when I finish with Yoda, that'll be the next piece that I start up again because it's going to be football season in a few months, and it'll be something fun to do. Probably whenever I watch football, I'll do the football piece. So we'll see, but that'll be the next one that I do because I really, really love that one. That's going to look awesome, especially up on the stitchy wall. All right, all I got to show you is my new t-shirt. Hold on a second. I don't want to step on my old world map down here. I decided to look again through Amazon, look for some more stitching shirts. And I have to say, if you guys are looking for stitching shirts, cross-stitching shirts on Amazon, it is tough. And when I went and did another search for it, I didn't find most of the t-shirts that I had that I've shown you in the past. So if you like a t-shirt that I'm wearing, if you want to get it, you're just going to have to jump on Amazon and look for it right away because these things don't seem to stay very long. But I got a couple of new shirts, but I'm going to wear this one today. This one might be my new favorite stitching shirt because I bought it a little bit bigger. My problem with these shirts that I buy off Amazon is when they, like these special shirts, is that they come and they're just too, they're too small for me around the shoulders. I've got like the shoulders of like Serena Williams, just without all the muscles. And, but I love this shirt. This is like ridiculously comfortable. But anyway, I got to show you this shirt because this is awesome. Hold on, let me stand up. It says, "The best days are spent cross-stitching." Yes, they are. All right, guys. So I hope you have a great stitchy week. I hope that you make excellent progress on all your works. And if you're not stitching right now, hey, that's fine. We all go through our periods where we don't want to stitch very much, and it takes a while to restoke the fire. I love doing these videos because it keeps me accountable for my stitching, which is, it's my favorite hobby. It's what I want to do. And when I do a video every week, it really motivates me to keep stitching more and more and more so I can get more stuff up here. And I thank you guys for watching, for subscribing, for commenting, for liking, because it all helps. It's all just wonderful encouragement, and it's just great. And I watch more and more of FlossTube. I've been watching a lot more this week, which is great. I wasn't in the mood to watch it for a while, and for some reason, and then this week I just kind of settled in and was able to do that. Hey, you know what? I need to tell you. I told you last time that we stopped doing the 5 a.m. workouts at the gym. Best decision. I really like the swimming, and it was good to get up and do that, but it just wiped me out. I mean, even just doing it once or twice a week made the rest of the week very difficult, and because we're not doing that, I'm getting more sleep. I'm not having to take naps in the middle of the day. The dog's going to start howling downstairs. I think they can hear me. They're all in their kennels, and they were taking naps. Can you hear them? They're not even that loud. They can get a lot louder. If everybody keys in, it's going to get a lot louder. Anyway. Okay. Anyway, but I feel so much better, so I think I'm going to get a lot of stitching done today. But you guys take care, and I will see you soon. And enjoy your stitching, and have a great day. Take care.